How you doing today?
What's up?
Not much, just getting this show on the road. He's our ball. But it's December 28th, 5 o'clock. And let's get right into it. Did you watch, the games last night?
Yeah,
What'd you think?
good-ish slate, I guess.
Alrighty, let's just get right into it. Luka Doncic had NBA history. He was the first guy to ever have a 60, 20, and 10 night. What were your thoughts on that? It was pretty unbelievable what they were able to do,
You don't
or
want to
he
hear
was
my
able to
thoughts on
do.
it.
Hmm?
You don't want to hear my thoughts on the game.
What, you thought it was rigged? You're anti-Luka.
I am not anti-Luka. I'm anti-Mavericks winning a championship, doing what they're doing.
And isn't this what championships teams do? Win improbable games.
I mean, you're kind of supposed to beat the New York Knicks without Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett, but yeah.
I know, but the improbable was what was it?
The comeback,
Basically,
yeah, the
the
9-point
comeback.
deficit, 33
Yeah,
seconds left.
the
That was
first team
awesome.
ever.
If Luka didn't do that, I wouldn't have been as obviously. Anytime you drop 60 points, it's extremely impressive. Nothing but respect, nothing but love for Luka. He's very fun. I love his demeanor, but I mean, I don't think it was as far as like the best game I've ever seen. I think it was a great basketball game, but I mean,
I
if
just thought
they,
it was Luka's MVP moment potentially.
yeah, that's fine. I just we'll see how the rest of their season goes. I mean, Luka's been on a tear this last 2 weeks or so. If
But
they
so is
didn't come
Spencer
back,
Dinwiddie.
if they lost this game, it would have been interesting because I don't know if people would be caring about this. It was in overtime, so you get 5 quarters. It was very efficient. He only made 2 threes.
Yeah, that putback, that
Yeah,
missed
the
three.
putback was beautiful. I don't know how he thought that was to win. I don't know how you don't know the score of the game, but
You're just in the moment, man. You're living by the horns. Living by the horns.
it's typically important to know the score of the game. Like typically.
They got the W. I don't even care. He could think he's on Mars, but if we get that W, it don't matter. I just thought like Luca literally just took control of the game and just said, "I'm not letting my team lose. I'm literally putting the team on the back." Tim Hardaway Jr. was awesome, and so was Christian Wood. Spencer Dinwiddie had a quiet night,
Yeah.
but I just think the sporting cast of Dallas is starting to come alive.
Yeah. I am starting to see more ball movement with him, which I love to see. I feel like Luca's doing a good job at getting his teammates involved early on in the game. And then once the second half hits, just like Giannis does when that defense getting a little tired, his teammates are cooking. That's when he starts to kind of turn it up a notch.
Yeah, no, I think with Luca out here tonight, Tim Hardaway, dude, he just could not miss last night. Christian Wood, another game, it was solid. And when this team's on, they're on fire. And then obviously when they have a bad game, it seems like everyone's having a bad game. But Luka Doncic, just kind of like a guy that you need to always consider him in the Mavs, because if he's just hot and a few other guys are hot, they can beat any team on any given day.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Now, do you think this team is still a team that needs to make a move or something, or?
No, I want the record to be evidently clear that they have plenty of help. The Dallas Mavericks have a ton of help, and we saw it with Christian Wood last night. We saw it with Dinwiddie. We saw it with Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, Luka Doncic. They wouldn't have won the game. They wouldn't have been in a position to win the game had Christian Wood not made that three. Had Dinwiddie not made that insane three. So I think he has plenty of a supporting cast. But yeah, I do think they need a big man. I mean, I know we talked about it, but Nerlens Noel to me seems pretty perfect for this team because I want like a rim runner. I don't need an offensive scoring big man.
Nerlens Noel would be so sick.
Yeah.
No, I just think. I don't think this team is a contender yet. I wouldn't say that. I just think Luka Doncic is like one of the few players that I think could pull LeBron James and just carry a team to the conference finals.
Yeah. I mean, took them to it last year.
Yeah, like he's going to be a guy who's going to be able to do that for a lot in his career. But also,
Yeah.
Luka said he doesn't want to play until he's 40. He wants to just go home back to his farm in Slovenia.
Yeah. Do you want to guess the two 60-pointers last year? They happened on back-to-back days.
Jordan Poole.
No.
Oh, I don't know who it is.
Karl-Anthony Towns.
Holy fuck, I forgot all about that 3-point barrage.
And then Kyrie Irving. So
I don't remember Kyrie.
it was the day after.
Really?
Yeah. So I think there's been 62 players to have scored, or 62 times where 60 points or more have been scored. Luka
In an
joined
NBA
some
game?
impressive players. Yeah, the list at like 60 and 61, there's a bunch of guys, like good players, Dame and LeBron, et cetera. Kemba's up there. This game reminded me of Harden. I think it was the Orlando game where he had a similar stat line, 60-point triple-double, and took like 24 shots, which was so crazy. I think he went like 16 to 24. He finished with 60. But Luka had he had 2 threes on the day, which is super impressive. I do think that 81 will be, I think somebody will get there in the next decade, and I think Luka is going to have a beautiful opportunity for it. Because one those nights where those threes are, I mean, if Luka's threes were falling last night, he didn't take too many threes, but if he was
Who's
feeling
just
himself
inside
from downtown, I mean, he could have dropped 70.
Luka's just a guy that he just slows down the game to his level, and the only other player who does that in the league is Nikola Jokic. I really love watching Luka play. He's just a talent, and yeah, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to like him. I understand if you don't believe the team's not a title contender, which I don't believe it's a title contender, but Luka Doncic is just awesome. He's a joy to watch. There's very few players. Like when he scored that game-winning layup and he was just like that, it was like the funniest thing ever.
Well, he
And
thought
like
it was game winning. It was game time, but yeah.
probably was so upset.
Yeah, he wants that beer. People are these NBA dorks are losing their mind that somebody said the word beer.
What do you mean?
So Luka was like, I need a post-round beer. I need a recovery beer.
He
Guys
definitely looked
oh my
hungover.
God, a beer. Like, a professional athlete just mentioned the word beer. He's one of us. He's one of us.
So the Warriors are starting. The young guys are starting to click. Klay Thompson's starting to look like he's back. Draymond Green's starting to have better and better games. Jordan Poole's becoming more consistent. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and James Wiseman seem like they're part of the rotation. And Dante DiVincenzo has been huge. What is your thoughts on these Golden State Warriors that are improving?
They're back, obviously. Yeah. I wish I had my phone on me. Otherwise, I would show you that I would say that stat line. I don't look. Luke and Cyro were they were shrugging off Jordan Poole's electric last month or so. He's inefficient. He hasn't been inefficient, but Golden State's awesome. Poole has been really carrying them. Dante's back finally. I think James Wiseman in limited run has looked good. I think Jonathan Kuminga is playing perfect Warriors basketball right now. I'd be a little concerned.
I just think they were a team that needed to play through their mistakes. Having the injuries to Andrew Wiggins and Steph Curry has allowed Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and James Wiseman all get extended runs with, the main rotation. And I think that's the more and more games they've played together, the chemistry has developed more. They know where people are running. They know they're starting to understand each other's tendencies and really understanding how to play Warriors ball, how to keep that ball movement and searching for the open shot. And at the end of the day, it's not just about getting accustomed to the NBA game, but it's getting accustomed to your team's schemes. And I think that's something we're finally starting to see from these young guys.
Yeah, so they're on a huge road or home trip right now. They were on a terrible road trip right before that Memphis game. They got blown out by Brooklyn. They had nobody playing. blown out by the Knicks. And so there was something about that Memphis game where you're shorthanded, prime time, Christmas Day, Christmas night. I feel like that's going to revitalize them. I mean, last night's win against Charlotte is nothing crazy. It's Charlotte, but you got to win the games you're supposed to win. And you got Utah coming up, Portland, Atlanta, Detroit, and Orlando. So 4-1 stretch there.
Yeah, obviously, this will be a good test that if they can really just sweep or win a majority of their games at home with the young guys, because I think Andrew Wiggins is about to come back, but isn't Curry still out for a little bit more time? So it'll be definitely, yeah, I think this is definitely going to be something that, helps. I really just think getting more and more reps at the end of the day to become a better NBA player. Well, it's all about repetition. And anything in life, it's just reps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they make a small veteran move, but we'll see.
I just see as free agent.
Yeah,
I just don't see them making any trades.
Let's see.
All right, name. Well, let's move over and let's talk about another team that has been embroiled in trade rumors all season long. But last night, Chris Paul left the game, and Dwayne Washington Jr. from Ohio State went off. Guy had a freaking phenomenal game. I don't know if you watched Jock Landale, DeAndre, and all, like literally the banged up Suns beat the Grizzlies. And it was all led by Dwayne Washington's 26 point and 8 assists. I don't know if you caught the highlights of this game.
I don't watch highlights.
Or you rewatched it. I don't know if now did you see this game?
Watched every snap. Dwayne Washington Jr. is a dog. I remember talking about a couple of weeks ago. He's another one of those guys, just like Orlando, where you'll watch him play in the summer league and you'll be like, oh shit. Like I remember him with Indiana when he was a rookie and just being like, damn, like I think they got something here. So Phoenix desperately needed that. They're on a road trip right now. They just lost to Denver on Christmas, and you got Washington, Toronto, New York, Cleveland, and now we know Booker's out for a month. So I think Cam Johnson's coming back relatively soon. I mean, as I said, my prediction or my take still stands. This team will be at or below 500 in 2 weeks from now. So
you just hate certain teams that I don't understand. I think
the Phoenix Suns suck. They suck.
No, they
Their
don't.
fan base is poverty.
No.
It's a poverty fan base.
Yeah. Why would you say that about any fan base? I think
their fan base
Suns.
They have a fan base. They're not good people.
To you butthurt. You're clearly butthurt. I think Dwayne Washington's a guy who's shown that at the very least he can be a high-level backup point guard, and a guy now that you just see this team is deep. Landry Shamet, Dwayne Washington, Josh Okogie, Jock Landale, Bismack Biyombo, Damian Lee, all guys coming off the bench. Obviously you hope Cam Johnson's going to come back, Mikal Bridges. You still have DeAndre Ayton, who's a solid, 12 and 12 guy every night for you. You got yourself Chris Paul, who's starting to work his way back. And yes, Devin Booker being out for a significant time. And I think that's where we can switch this conversation is what do you think, you're going to need more of Dwayne Washington with Devin Booker now being out for a month with a strain growing. What is your thoughts with this injury to Devin Booker? And do you think it's going to affect the Suns a lot more than it might have
I just spoke about this, that it completely dismantles their entire team and they're screwed. They're going to be at.
I mean, Cam Johnson comes back or Jay Crowder.
Oh. Jay Crowder's not coming back. Cam Johnson.
No, like a trade for Jay Crowder.
13 points a night. I don't know. I think Ayton's going to want out. I don't know if it'll be at this deadline, but I don't think he'll be in a Phoenix Sun uniform this time next year. I don't like the way he gets babied around. I don't like Monty anymore, to be honest with you.
I don't know why you would say it. Monty's a great coach. Let me use the bathroom real quick. Just finish up this segment.
Once again, my prediction still stands. I don't actually have anything else to say about the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul was doing cool because he was scoring. I started the season pretty doggy. check his game log. When did he come back? 14. We missed last. Did he miss last night? No, he played last night. He played, yeah, 24. 14, 17, 10, 12, 28. They're going to need more from Chris Paul a little bit. Just a little bit more. It might be Chris Paul's last rodeo here, unfortunately, before he enters Kyle Lowry type. Yeah. Well, we got 4 people in here. Let me know where you're watching this from.
Sorry about that, dude. I had to pee like a racehorse. You ever like just get hit? I was sitting here for like the last 2 minutes, just like pinching myself not to like. I was like, this is just gonna go away, but it just didn't go away. Now let's move on. Kristaps Porzingis. Did you see the dom? Like this was a Kristaps looked good for the Wizards last night, and the Wizards looked good. I don't know if you saw the game.
Fuck no.
You hate the Wizards, don't you?
Well, I'd rather watch paint dry.
Damn, you rather watch paint dry. Denny Avdia had the game-winning play by blocking. Fuck, last night. I'm literally blanking on the team we played last night, but he literally stripped. I think it was Joel Embiid. Yeah, it was Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid was going up for a dunk or a layup, and Denny Avdia stripped him with like 20 seconds left, and they won the game. Denny Avdia coming up huge. Kristaps Porzingis led it, and I think it's definitely like really fun. And hey, what's up, Mr. Sports 8?
That's good.
Glad to hear you. We know you watch always afterwards. Always thinking of you, buddy. But do you think Kristaps Porzingis is an all-star? I've been saying this all. Like he's playing at an all-star level, potentially third-team All-NBA level.
Yeah, I don't know what the all-star. I mean, I don't like the all-star system in general. I think it's rigged, but yeah, he's definitely playing really good basketball. I wouldn't say he's having a career year quite yet, but I think if he continues on this trajectory, we can have that conversation.
I just think he looks fully healthy. He looks way better than he did ever in Dallas. And Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis are a good fit. I don't think what's going on in Washington's as dire as people make it seem. I understand that there's no structure or direction, but we have the pieces there. Like you don't come across players like Kristaps Porzingis and Bradley Beal, you know.
Well, my issue with Washington is more so what's your future looking like, because none
Would
of
you
their
agree
young
this
talent
team would be
works.
better if he had a point guard
Yeah, they need Russ.
or John Wall?
Yeah, Wall would help him. I think not to the level at what he used to be able to, but I mean, he'd still probably come off the bench for Monty. But I mean, I think Monty's a capable point guard. I don't know what my issue with Washington is. What
I'll
are you,
send
10
you
games below 500? What are you,
Rui
7 games
Hachimura.
below 500? That's their peak. The highest they could go, their ceiling is a 500 team stuck in the play-in tournament,
For
continuing
this
to not
season,
hit
but like they,
undrafted. No, just
I think at this point, like if they could make a midseason trade, if they could get to themselves like Will Barton, Rui Hachimura for Mike Conley, and then they have Mike Conley and Monte Morris.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of putting a Band-Aid on. I don't know how much you want Mike Conley, but
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to put it. Putting a Band-Aid. I think there's no move during the season they could make to like that isn't considered a Band-Aid. I think this offseason, if they use their young guys and they use their picks and said, fuck it, we're not drafting anymore. And they went after, because people forget there was like a point where the Wizards were actually angling towards trying to sign Kevin Durant, but then Kevin Durant was just like, yeah, nah,
yeah.
Washington, I ain't coming home. I ain't coming home to y'all. And I think it's definitely interesting to see how it's all played out. But I love my Wizards, but yeah, it's rough. It's rough to see like the franchise that there isn't too many moves that wouldn't be considered a Band-Aid move, which is a little bit upsetting.
Yeah.
Now let's move over. Guess who's a 40% shooter? Yeah, I know he's only shot like 17 threes so far in like 13 games, but the guy is a 40% three-point shooter. He shot more threes so far this season than each of the last 2 seasons. Markelle Fultz, aka Marksman. Markelle Fultz has a jump shot. What is your thought of this man, Markelle Fultz, the former number 1 overall pick, the man who's in his 6th NBA season, and I think he's only like 24.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Well, he's a phenomenal attacking the rim. He's like a 50% inside the arc shooter, gets to the free throw line, shoots like 80%, and like plays is like a top 10 defensive point guard.
No, he's shooting 65% from the free throw line.
No, but like last 2 seasons, like he was an 85.
Played 26 games.
26 game sample size, bro. No fake.
Yeah, that's not as for him being a good free throw shooter. No, definitely not. I don't need him to be a great free. How's that a great free throw shooter? I think he can get over 70, which is fine. I think he's a great player. It's an enticing, intriguing.
Was Chris Dunn in this draft class?
Sounds right.
So the top 2 point guards in this draft class are like underachieved. I think Chris Dunn was earlier. Markelle's 2017. Chris Dunn was. I'm trying to think, but continue. What are you going to say? What's your problem with Markelle? Why do you think he's never going to improve?
I don't. I think he's around his ceiling. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. He's still 12, 4 and 5, steal and a half. He's a great defender.
I think his ceiling is like 15, 6 and 6. Like that's a low ceiling. The high ceiling is him being like a 27 and 7 guy.
Yeah,
that's high ceiling. Like if everything works out, he gets a shot. Like 27 and 7, borderline if not all-star. More realistically, he becomes a 15-point per game guy who shoots like 34-35% from 3, dishes out 5 assists and grabs like 5 boards and averages over a steal a night. Like has a positive defensive rating.
Yeah, it works for me. His comeback story is great.
Yeah,
a lot of hype around him at Washington. So
I think at the very least he's an above-average starting point guard, but not an all-star. And then his ceiling at this point is fringe all-star, borderline all-star. If everything goes correct. But more realistically, he's just above average starting caliber point guard.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. Again, like he's one of the like top 20, 30 point guards in the NBA.
I'm curious what his future holds.
He's also the Magic got him on a great deal. It's like $15 million a year. Salary cap jumps in. He's basically going to be making like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, as long as he keeps producing and not getting hurt.
Can I ask you honestly, what was your thoughts in that draft? Like how unbiasedly, like if you can recall, like what was your mind like in that draft? Because that was when they traded. Remember. It was the year that they traded the pick. The Celtics had the first pick, and then they traded it to the Sixers, and the Sixers moved up.
Oh, so like Tatum.
Yeah, it was Tatum because the year before they took Brown, the Celtics, and there wasn't really a number 1 consensus pick in this year's draft. It was just like by fit because it went Fultz, who was second? I'm blanking. Lonzo, and then it went Tatum, and like supposedly the Celtics were going to take Tatum regardless, and I just remember, just like I don't know, I just felt like Markelle like blew up on the scene. It was just a weird draft. I thought Markelle was going to be good. I honestly thought Markelle was going to be good.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a stud.
Like I had no like question marks on Markelle. I was like, he's a pretty solid player. And interesting. It's interesting. I want to know if the Celtics would have taken Markelle Fultz with the first pick.
Yeah. I mean, I think Isaiah was their point guard, so I don't.
Because Lonzo was a guaranteed always to go to LA. Everyone was like, it was almost like storybook written that like Lonzo Ball was going.
But, yeah, he's going home. Staying home.
Yeah. Let's go over to Thomas Bryant, who has been phenomenal filling in for Anthony Davis. Have you been watching him?
Yeah.
Dude, he's looking like the guy who earned that big old contract with the Wizards. He's literally made Damian Jones obscure. This guy's the perfect pick and pop. He gives the team space, something that they desperately needed. And I think it's fun. It's fun watching Thomas Bryant. This team's 14-20, but they're a team that feels like they're closer to 16-18 or something,
Yeah, they've had a bunch of very, very close
single digit losses.
Yeah. Thomas Bryant's been really nice. I was thinking Damian Jones was going to be more involved before the season started, but Thomas Bryant's doing a phenomenal job in the wake of Anthony Davis, and hopefully it gives him more playing time. I love his eagerness, he doesn't fear taking a three, which is so cool seeing a big boy like him do that. I like what he gives me. I really do. And I think that the Lakers, I saw LeBron deleted his tweet about never not making the playoffs again.
LeBron deleted that tweet.
Yeah, today. I still have my concerns with the Lakers, but Thomas Bryant's been a nice breath of fresh air.
So LeBron gave up on the season.
Well, I don't know. I think he's realizing, Anthony Davis is never healthy, and Russell Westbrook is a good basketball player, but we're not going to win anything with him.
Do you think even if LeBron this year goes to GM and he says we need to trade Anthony Davis this offseason?
No.
I mean, they're going to have money to go sign someone to a max contract. When I look at the Los Angeles Lakers, I don't expect them to make a trade. I don't. I really don't. I don't make them. This is the Los Angeles Lakers. This is your Lakers.
Yeah, it feels like the last 3 years we've been saying, what move are the Lakers going to make at the deadline? What move are they going to make? Andre Drummond.
Literally, dude, since they won the championship, it's literally been they're one guy away. They're one guy away from repeating his champion guys. And then what was their record with the last Kuzma year? Because Kuzma stayed one more year after the championship. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think Kuzma
stayed one more year.
I can check right now. Their record the year after the championship was 42-30. Yeah, he was there.
14.
I mean,
so basically, this team was better with Kuz. It has been. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, I mean, they also had a bunch of other guys Schroeder was really good for them.
Wasn't Trevor Ariza on the championship team? I'm pretty sure Trevor Ariza came out of retirement. They had Jared Dudley too. I mean, he wasn't playing, but he was basically an assistant coach. I'm pretty sure Trevor Ariza came back. Yeah, I don't think he won. Did he win a championship? And yeah, never mind. No, he didn't win the championship. But what he did was he signed in 2021. It was absolute crap. He suffered an ankle injury and only played 24 games. Damn.
Oh my God, I forgot they got Dion Waiters for 7 games in the championship.
Dude, Dion Waiters on the Los Angeles Lakers. You remember Dion Waiters had an anxiety attack because he took too many edibles?
Oh, really?
Jeez. And they had to make an emergency landing for him.
Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure they had to do an emergency landing because he had a panic attack because he ate 4 edibles.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, he retired.
Well, yeah.
Did he get a trophy?
I don't think so.
He is an NBA champion. Dion Waiters is an NBA champion.
Oh, Dion Waiters. Oh, I thought we were talking about
4th overall. Also,
yeah, he was on the Lakers team.
Yeah, he was could not hit a shot. But Dion Waiters on the Miami Heat was reborn when he was averaging 16 points a night in 2016.
Dion Waiters did enough for the Lakers.
Dude, he shot 23% from 3.
He had.
I don't know if he made more than a
game
in the playoffs.
No, this is in the weird. This was in the bubble. The whole season was weird. This was because it was in August, which was when the bubble was going on.
Bubble Laker, underrated Alex Caruso. I think losing Alex Caruso was huge.
Yeah, he a huge loss. I mean, that team was really good. KCP, Avery Bradley, Danny Green, Dwight,
KCP
Rondo.
was another guy that they lost and they could never like KCP, Alex Caruso. They just gave up on all their shooting. They were just like, yeah, we just don't need to keep all these shooters. And I think it was like Rob Pelinka. He's like, I'm not gonna like submit to LeBron what LeBron did when the Cavs won a championship and he got all his boys paid, like Tristan Thompson and Kyrie and all those guys, and then those contracts looked atrocious. So I felt like just got rid of guys.
Swaggy, you would have loved my segment on Luka today.
You guys is Swaggy an anti-Luka guy too?
No, but he's a Knicks fan.
Hey, how about them Knicks?
Yeah, they're suffering right now. They've lost a bunch in a row. Their young guys look really good. Quentin Grimes, Randall's been playing really good. Quentin Grimes last night.
Hit that like button, guys, if you do enjoy today's show, and subscribe. All right, I'm operating like off of like 2 hours of sleep right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
Really?
Yes.
I'm so out of it. I'm so like spaced out. Okay, but no, entirely. I think right here, I'm done with the Lakers. I'm done speculating. This is it. This is fucking it. But let's move on to something else. What do you got? Anything on your mind that's came up, that's crept up? Also, RJ Barrett's actually out for a week with a finger laceration. Doesn't that just mean a cut on his finger? Doesn't that just mean he has a cut on his finger? Or is it like a laceration, like a deep cut?
I think it might be a deep cut.
Like stitches?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm assuming stitches. Like the only reason you're not playing due to a cut on your finger for a week is due to stitches.
Had to be some type of stitch work. I hate stitches so much.
I've never gotten stitches in my life. I've never had stitches in my life.
My buddy got punched at our gym like a little less than a year ago, and we had to take him to the ER.
What was he doing?
He's playing 1v1 with some dude, and they're betting on it, and the guy got mad and punched him in the face, and he was bleeding everywhere. I had to go with him to the hospital and see him get stitched up, and it made me so uncomfortable.
I've seen people get stitched up. You've never had stitches either?
No.
I've knock on wood. I've had staples and I've been glued.
Yeah, staples were a big thing in like middle school and elementary.
I knew so many kids who cracked their head and got staples.
Like kids were just kids back then and doing dumb shit and getting hurt.
Yeah, they're like, I just cracked my skull open, so they just put 6 staples in the back. Also, I want to say, any kid who cracked their skull, I feel like you suffered brain damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a concussion is literally,
dude. But yeah, if you're
bruising your brain,
and you bleed, oh, dude, we're moving on. This just made me.
I hate internal bleeding. It's like a big fear.
Oh, dude, you remember when I sent you a picture when I did that? I hurt my MCL and my whole leg was purple. Like I did a Euro step. Like my left knee was the one that bumped, but my right knee ended up getting bruised. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was like. Took a week, like 2 weeks off of basketball.
You haven't gone back since?
No, I have. We actually lost. No, we didn't lose. We got disqualified in the semifinals. No, in the quarterfinals of our Greek League basketball. But my friends set the meanest pick when we were down by 15 with like 30 seconds left. And then a fight broke out. So we got ZBT disqualified, even though they were winning 15 because the fight broke out. So both teams were disqualified. So in my books, we won.
They were like the Phoenix Suns.
We're like, if we ain't moving on, nobody's moving on. But dude, my boy Ashton, he doesn't even play. We had him on the squad just to have 10 guys, and he just came in bench time and set the world. And he's like 200 pounds, like 5'7", 5'8", set the world's meanest brick wall pick. Like this kid didn't even see him coming; it just went. And then like they just started swinging, and they just called the game. Also, then I experienced racism because my friend, the guy who set the meanest pick, he's like Hispanic, like a little bit Hispanic, and he's darker than me. And so I went out through the game, and like ZBT's the Jewish fraternity, so me being Jewish, I just went over and said like good game, all that, good sportsmanship. And the one guy who got in the fight with my friend goes, "Fuck you! Why would I want to talk to you?" I was like, bro, wrong guy. Like, that's him. And he just like, oh, and I went over and told my team, they're like, you just like were, and you just experienced racism. He just thought you were, you and like, I don't know if that's racism, but like, they just said like, I don't see it. I wasn't offended. I mean, I was geeked. I was like, damn, bro, like, we don't look that alike. You know, like he's clearly like more like Chicano looking.
Is punto? Is bitch in
Puta?
Spanish
Puta?
punto? It's puta. There's no a or there's no
No,
n.
no, puto is a guy, puta is a girl. And then
Isn't
maricon
puto
is a
like?
faggot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Maricon,
it's
like
it's puto, not punto.
puta, because it's a bitch, but you can call a guy a puto. But you don't really call, if you're gonna insult a guy, you want to call him a puto, you call him a maricon, which is faggot. Like literally translate maricon to faggot. Like we call my mom's dog a maricon because he doesn't have balls and he like lives with old girls. So we're like, my mom like literally calls his dog in her dog in Spanish a fag. But someone that's PC is gonna. My mom also teach Spanish and they're trying to like PC Spanish. My mom's like nah, like this is like Spanish, like
F that.
yeah.
I was watching. I think it was Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Or no,
what a great movie!
That's a great movie.
Have you seen the sequel?
No.
Get Into the Greek.
Oh, I didn't know that was the sequel.
It's
I've heard
an
of that.
unofficial sequel because guess what? Russell Brand's in both movies and he plays Aldous Snow. And in Get Him to the Greek, they show Forgetting Sarah Marshall on a new cop drama, and he goes, "I used to fuck that chick." And like, same director, and it's
it was either that movie or Role Models with Paul Rudd.
Role Models is so good. With
one of the movies dropped the F word like 5 times. No, it was Hangover. I watched the first 3 minutes of Hangover, and they were like, like Paige and Dr. Faggot. Like, he's like, my friends aren't that bad, and then they pull up and they're like, Paige and Dr. Faggot. They just kept dropping the word.
I listen to like a lot of Lil Dicky's old stuff, and dude, he says faggot so much in his old
Does he
stuff.
really?
Oh my god, he says fag or kike and like shit like that, and you're just like, he has a lot of songs that he's privatized. Like he has a song called White Dude where he raps about how great it is to be a white guy, because like he doesn't have to like suffer from prejudice or racism, and also he's lucky that he isn't a girl because you can just impregnate and pack up a bag and leave.
Yeah,
it's funny, but you're just like, oh, you get why he privatized that. Or like he has another one, he has a few where
my favorite's Molly.
You're soft, bro. That's his newer shit. Oh, dude, at Christmas, I had a guy come up to me. Did I tell you this? And he was like, "When's season 3?"
Yeah, that's fine. Never seen that. And I don't see any Little Dicky in here.
You really?
No. It's completely different colored hair. So
I know. That's why it's a little foreign.
Like completely different. You're the foreign Little Dicky.
Yeah, I'm the foreign Little Dicky. Don't get me wrong. I would fit in like Benny Blanco, me, and Lil Dicky. That picture would look natural.
Yeah.
It'd be like 3 Jews. Dude, is Lowry marketing? Who's gonna win? Okay, so actually, let's go over here. Let's review something. Check out the bballshow.com. That's the website I built. We got a few articles on there right now. I got so far what we've got. Also, you can actually watch the NBA show right there and then, and you can watch the latest episodes and watch clips there. But what we're pulling up right here is I have an off the dribble multi-weekly newsletter I'm writing. Next one's probably coming out tonight. But this morning I wrote the best 2-way contract players so far and award rankings right now, and we're gonna go over these award rankings, and I kind of want to hear your reaction to them. But I also kind of want to not rebrand, but redo it because I feel like this looks way too much like The Athletic, and it's pissing me off.
Oh
yeah, I noticed that the other day. I wanted to keep it simple, black and white, and then like yesterday, I was like, "Holy shit, this just looks like a ripoff of theathletic.com."
Yeah, I can see that.
But either way,
good though.
Yeah. This is just my top 10 two-way contracts. So I wrote this at like 5 a.m. Like if you guys are into that type of shit, just go to theballshow.com. But let's go over here. My NBA MVP race. I wrote this year's races between Jason Tatum. Oh, fuck. Tatum's a lowercase. I got to fucking go back and fix that. With Durant, Giannis, Embiid, Curry, and Doncic, all dark horse candidates, the surpass leaders. However, the season ended today, probably be Jason Tatum, maybe Nikola Jokic. Jokic's been insane. But I think right here, this is pretty reasonable. I think Steph Curry could be replaced by Tyrese Halliburton soon or like somebody else. Steph Curry's not playing, bro. Every game he missed, every day he goes lower in the rankings. That's just a fact.
Like a game above 500. He had a game where he scored 1 point. You realize if any of these players scored 1 point, they would be made fun of for the rest of their professional career.
That's a good point. Okay, so I didn't think about that. Well, but do you think this is a reasonable list? Top 7?
Yeah. I think right now it's looking like one of the best MVP races in
recent
modern history even. But yeah, I think it's a little too early to even get a gauge on any of these 5 guys, really. I guess 7 even. It's anybody's game right now.
I agree. It's anybody's game. And here, let's go down over here. Rookie of the Year. That's something that I think is more interesting we haven't talked about. And the reason why is that it's Paolo Banchero's award to lose. Like, the only way Paolo Banchero is not winning the Rookie of the Year trophy, correct me if I'm wrong, is if he just, like, suffered a season-ending injury in the next month.
Yeah.
Or do you think he's already done so much that they would just give him a default?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know he threw up a shitter last night against my Lake show, but yeah, it's definitely his to lose.
Like, don't get me wrong, Jaden Ivey, Jabari Smith, Keegan Murray, all have been, like, figuring it out. Benedict Matherin's been quieted down, and I don't know if that's really his fault. It's because his role's diminished, because I sense that Rick Carlisle's actually trying to play, like, win-now players and make the playoffs. So it's just, like, Benedict's minutes have, like, not, he would. I think in the beginning of the season they were tanking, but they ended up playing way better. And now, like, with everyone healthy, they're just like, Benedict, like, we got a few guys in front of you, and like Benedict's still playing, like, 20 minutes a night. It's just, I think he was averaging, I feel like in the first month of the season, like 30 a night. Now he's averaging like 20, 22, 22, 23. Let me get these numbers exactly right, so I'm not pulling shit out of my ass. Yeah. So I guess actually his minutes have increased. So like my whole logic's just been down. He just hasn't shot well. That's why it seems like he hasn't been. So the first 2 months of the season, the first 21 games, he was an absolute menace, shooting basically 40% from 3, 45 from the field, and like averaging 19 points a night. But basically in December, he fell to a 22% three-point shooter, 38% from the field, and 14. He just hit the rookie wall.
Yeah, it's kind of like with a lot of these guards on the list, or I guess Jaden, Jabari, even Keegan, where you're just going through.
I feel like Jabari started with the rookie wall and he's worked his way out of it.
Yeah, but he'll still have those inefficient shooting nights. I just, like Jaden Ivey's getting all these guys are kind of getting not too much. They're not getting too much talk, really. Jaden struggled, especially when Cade initially went down, but he's getting back there. But it's still like an inefficient, 41 from the field, looking 31, 33 from downtown. It's just clear like Paolo is just the dude.
Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah, AJ Griffin. Yeah, he's.
Oh, so I had AJ to do. I'll be honest, guys. When I made this, it was hard to include AJ Griffin in this. Like, I sat here for like 10 minutes when I was writing this. And I was going to put him as an honorable mention. The reason why I don't think he gets it is in the top 5, unless he goes on a tear. Obviously, he can get into the top 5. I think he didn't get the minutes consistently to start the year. He started the year basically like a no-show and then picked up a little bit later. And he doesn't have a starting role. I know Benedict Matherin doesn't. Like, he's like been he hasn't started every game.
No, he doesn't start.
Yeah, he's only started 2 games. He's only started 2 games. but Benedict Mathurin gets like 30 a night off the bench. So it's just that AJ Griffin, I don't think he plays enough minutes to be warranted. That's a good reasoning, right?
Yeah, it's just barely over 21.
Yeah.
It's been more of a recent.
Like if he had been playing 21 and been doing what he had been doing since the first game of the season, I might have had AJ Griffin over Jabari Smith.
Yeah. I think Jabari's defense puts him guaranteed top 5 at worst.
Well, Jabari Smith's defense didn't fully come through till like the first month of Jabari's career was rough.
Yeah.
All around. Jabari's a great player, but that first month he literally had to adjust to the NBA.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even particularly good in summer league either.
No, we're seeing the flashes. That's what I'm saying. It's like all of these guys are going to have inefficient nights, except Paolo, really. So
for Defensive Player of the Year, this is what I wrote. Brook Lopez looks like a new man with a surgically corrected back. He hosts a block party every game day. OG Anunoby is the best perimeter defender in the NBA. It's insane his versatility on the defensive end. I put Bam Adebayo. He's probably and Evan Mobley as the two other guys. Just I felt like I had to include somebody on the Cavs because they're the best defensive team, and I feel like Evan Mobley's that guy. And this one shocked me. I started looking into defensive stats. Do you know how unreal Dillon Brooks has been defensively this year?
Yeah, he's been incredible.
Like, incredible. Like, he's still inefficient offensively, but, like, Dillon Brooks sneakily has had, like, an insane, like, defensive player. Like, this guy's an old defensive team member. Do you think so? Like, second team, probably.
As of right now, yeah.
I mean, honestly, this could, could this be your...
I think Giannis would. I think they'd give Giannis some love here.
I just didn't want to give Giannis it because I just feel like they just. I'm not.
He's still a great defender. So.
I know, but like I felt like these were the guys who were more deserving of it. Okay.
That's all 5 of these guys are great defenders.
Like phenomenal. Like these guys. I'm really shocked by Dillon Brooks. Like really shocked by Dillon Brooks. Like I started looking at it, I was like, holy crap, Dillon Brooks. Like.
I think he's always been an underrated defender.
He's always been a good, underrated, solid defender. But no, like Dillon Brooks is at like Marcus Smart, like just below like OG Anunoby, like he's disrupting this year. Yeah, I thought that was really cool to see. You have any? So your only objection on this one is Giannis?
Yeah.
Who would you take Evan Mobley out and put Giannis in then? That would be my only guess, right? Yeah. That's what I figured. Most improved. This one was hard because what qualifies as most improved? Because I saw some people saying...
Some people want Ja.
Yeah, some people want Ja. I'm like, dude, he's already good. I don't think that
Maxey before I got hurt.
Yeah, like I saw another one, like, and even Anthony Simons, I was like, I guess like he did get increased by 5 points, but he kind of had his breakout year last year. And what qualifies? Because I feel like Tyrese Halliburton, Lowry Markkanen, and Bol are like your typical most improved players, but Shea just like went nuclear. And because I also like I wanted to look around what other people were using, and then some people were saying like obviously Shea and Tyrese were always there, but other ones were like Lowry. I think another one I saw was I'm trying to think. I don't even know. They were like bad. But I think it's just Shea's right now the runaway. Unless he gets hurt, or they shut him down.
Yeah. Most improved is a tough one.
I think they should also make a comeback player of the year award.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Like the NFL has
to slow down right now. So
who?
Bol.
Yeah, but I also think that's just because minutes. Like the
matchups are a big thing with Bol.
Yeah, matchups, and then I think they're getting healthier. So it's kind of like less minutes.
I think mine's Laurie, but it's like once again, like it's hard to constitute what even is most improved because Shea was, like 24, 25 point per game scorer.
Like what is it? Like is it you going from like a 12 point to a 20 point, or is it going?
I think
from a 20
that's what
point?
I'm. That's what I do. What I'm doing.
Like you
Yeah.
go from like a 9 or 10 point score to a 20 point score. That's what I've always thought most improved. That's typically what it is. Like a Tyrese Halliburton, a Lowry Markin, and a Bol. Those are your typical most improved. Like Miles Bridges, he went from what, like 15, 14 a game to like 22 last year. I know he didn't win it, but like.
Yeah, man, when I'm looking at Laurie, I'm looking at this field
The
goal
transformation.
field like points. Obviously, he went up 8 to 23. Rebounds went up 2.5 to 8.2. Assists went up. His field goal percent is 53%. His 3-pointer is 43%. Like he's almost a 50, 40, 90 guy right now. So, and now he's kind of like the dude in Utah. So I think that's why it's Laurie for me.
Yeah, and his aggressiveness. And then the other one is literally, I think the only other one is Tyrese because he just went to an all NBA caliber player.
Yeah, that injury really screwed him on that. We'll see when he makes his return on Friday.
No, okay, we'll go 6 man of the year. I think it's
Clear
gonna.
Russ.
I don't think it should be Russ necessarily. Like he's been great, but like I feel like Bobby Portis has been insane. Malik Monk has been insane. Jordan Poole, I think because he's starting too many games, so he can't win it. But Brogdon's been phenomenal. I just think Russ playing in LA and the narrative that he was reluctant to take the 6 man role, and then he embraced it. They
He
like
was.
that. I know.
He's
and I think
giving me off the bench what not even half the point guards in the league can average.
but Bobby Portis is averaging like a double off the bench.
I mean, Russ is right there with 8 assists.
Do you agree with these 5 guys though?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you switch out?
Yeah.
The only
Kevin
guy
Porter Jr.
he starts though. I don't know how that one's gonna work for you.
Yeah, he's worked for me.
Coach of the year. You know Taylor Jenkins never played college basketball. He went to an Ivy League in his first year. While in college, his senior year, he interned with the Spurs, then became an assistant and worked his way up. My friend was telling me it was nepotism, and I was like, no, nepotism is Steven Stiles and like Doc Rivers hiring his son. But Taylor Jenkins in first place. I said Willie Green and Mike Malone are close second and third. Joe Mazzulla could pull the Bruce Arians, like when Bruce Arians was the intern coach when Chuck Pagano back in 2012 had cancer and he won coach of the year. And then I had Rick Carlisle as fifth. I felt like that was a dark horse because he's got this Pacer squad actually playing.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think it's a little too early for me, but I like these 5.
I feel like those are going to be the 5 that like
Christian
we see
Wood
at the end.
6 man.
Oh, Christian Wood, but I thought he's starting more now.
Yeah, he can't be over more than 5 though.
Is it what, 5 starts?
No, I'm just saying like he's barely started.
Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of games you aren't allowed to start.
Let me see how many he started this year. I'm gonna guess 4, 7.
7, and
He'll be at too many by the end of the season.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't put him there. That's genuinely why I didn't have Christian Wood as the 6-man category because he's been starting more and more. Now let's play something how we wrap up every episode.
Well, I think tomorrow I'll be able to pop in for the first half hour.
That sounds
Not
good.
too far of a drive.
Ooh, sorry for being rained every day. I felt like I came back to life at the end.
This is a tough point in life between New Year's and Christmas.
It is. All right, who is this? I feel like this is Grant Williams. Oh,
he's in the East. I did not.
In Atlanta. He's 6'7" or 6'8". It's TJ Warren.
No, it's too fat. I'll go Royce O'Neal.
At least he did a.
Almost.
Almost. He's 29, so. All right. Boston, you got yourself Brooklyn, Philadelphia. You got.
This guy's got a beard.
Philadelphia, Brooklyn, New York, Celtics. Oh, these 29s. Okay, we appreciate that, Dre.
Oh, I got one.
I'm going. I know this is wrong.
Oh, that's who I was gonna go with.
So it's 2 more teams. What are the last 2 teams in the Atlantic? The Knicks and the Raptors.
Yeah, I think so. Is this fucker on the Raptors? Dude, he's got to be on the Raptors. He looks like a Knicks player, but I feel like he's got to be on the Raptors.
Thad Young? No,
like
Chris Boucher.
I think he's too fat on the head for Chris Boucher.
Who's 6'6" who could be on the Raptors?
Chris Boucher is not 6.
Yeah, who's 6'6". That's why I stopped myself.
Otto Porter Jr.?
He's too old.
Bangarang.
You feel good, don't you? All right, guys. I think that's how we'll wrap up today's episode. You got anything else you wanted to say?
Yes, I do. That's back to back.
I know. So go fuck yourself.
2 very
All
impressive wins.
Talk to you tomorrow, then, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. It'll be much obliged. Be a friend. Tell a friend if you did enjoy. Hit the like button. We'll be back tomorrow. Check out the website, theballshow.com. Bye.